Welcome to Spiritual Chat with your hosts, Cherie and Kat.
Welcome to Spiritual Chat with Cherie and Kat. And we have our lovely guest, Carol Starr, a world-renowned astrologer and psychic. Welcome, Carol.
Well, I am so happy to be here on Sunday morning. This is a great time of day, and I live in a beautiful place, and it's nice to meet with you guys. Where did you guys find me? I'm just curious.
Well, I've been watching you on Instagram for some time now. I love your videos. I love your content. You're
I,
always so on point. And I noticed that you started following me back. And so I was like, I wonder if she would be on the show. Wouldn't that be so cool to have Carol Starr on the show? Because we're big fans of you.
I love having fans. Yeah, that's great. And it's a big world out there. And there's a lot of us, a lot of podcasts, a lot of, psychics, a lot of astrologers, tarot card readers, and everything. And you have to stand above the crowd today. And that's where the challenge is. What is it that, and it's, you can't just do one thing or two things. You have to be, it used to be 2 years ago, I didn't have to do anything. I sat back, I did videos every day. And the orders, just poured in more than I could handle. And I'm still, like I said, I still do very well. I'm happy with where it's going, but it's a lot more work. And I think this whole spiritual thing is caught on in a positive way and in a negative way. People feel they're going to make money, and this is an easy way to make money. They don't have to go to school, learn how to act a little psychic. You can become a psychic. There's all kinds of tricks with psychics. Tarot card, everybody's a tarot card reader today. I don't like tarot cards. I use oracle cards. Oracle cards they give you the spirit for the day. They make you feel good. Tarot cards can scare the heck out of you. And I think that scaring people in the waiting room today is where people are feeling success.
I agree. And I think like when you use tarot, it does disempower them because it gives them these potentials that maybe they wouldn't do or maybe they would choose not to do. It
Right.
kind of takes their choice away. That's why I don't use it.
I have to say I'm not a big fan of them, And another thing, I am an astrologer, and I probably shouldn't say this, but there are a lot of astrologers that I don't understand. I believe we're going to talk about the aspects. I know you want to talk about the planetary placements, and we will. But they'll say Gemini, Scorpios, Libras, all you signs, sun, moon, and rising are going to feel the next week that you're going to be empowered. You're going to have new ideas and you're going to meet the love of your life, but you better be cautious. Now, how can you say that about 80 million people? But there's enough of them out there that something good is going to happen. So they're going to think it's brilliant.
It's very generalized, right?
Yeah, and it really, you have to be to some degree when you do videos, but I'm guilty of it in a way too. But I will never tell all these sun, moon, and rising that this is going to happen to them. I'll see things like, right now we're going to talk about Aries people. They are going to be experiencing. There's so much stuff going on with them, and that I find that really interesting. But we're still in charge of our lives, and we're still in charge of our charts.
Would you say that when we have certain transits, it's almost like the energy that comes in presents like an opportunity and a choice, a free will?
I feel like it can. Mercury, when it goes retrograde, I will tell you, I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, ruled by Mercury, and my computer acts up, my printer acts up. I don't get all kinds of things, nothing tragic though, just annoyances. And it does seem to happen. Now that happens all the time, but it happens a lot more during this time. Someone said to me, well, Pisces, Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years, and I had 14 miserable years. I thought, what are you going to say to somebody that says that? What are you doing? And most of my comments on the videos are, I'm going through a bad time. I'm having a horrible time. People think life has to be perfect today in order to be happy.
Mhm.
Every day. Don't you know, one day your dog runs out or your cat runs out, the stove, something burns on the stove, or you didn't get the call you wanted. You know, you spilled something on the floor, you can't get, there's all kinds of stuff that happen.
Mhm.
Or you have a fight with your significant other. Yeah, that one's a good one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's always funny when people blame the moon or the transits.
Oh, I know. But you wrote me your sun signs again, but I didn't. Which one? There's one of you that's a Capricorn? No, no.
Well, I'll go my sun, moon rising. So sun Taurus, moon
Okay,
Capricorn, and rising Scorpio.
okay. So you've got a lot of earth and a little bit of water there. Okay, that's good. And yours, Cherie?
I am a Leo Sun, Mercury, Mars, ninth house, and then I have a Taurus moon in the sixth house, and I am a Sag rising.
So you have the Taurus moon with your sun sign of Taurus.
Mhm.
You guys get along really well.
Mhm.
That's my
This
girl.
is
Yes.
life is not perfect, and if you don't have disagreements, you're not really in a relationship. You know, so this works well, and I'm glad to see you here. And I know that I just feel like you guys are going to do really well. So when you're rich and famous, I hope you'll have me back again.
We
We
would love
received
to
that
have
and
you
we would
on.
never not have you back from then to now. As much as you want to chat with us.
I
Yep,
know.
Taurus, yeah, you've got Taurus, nice hair, and I think that works well for you. The Leo, I like the Leo part of your chart. Yeah, yeah, a little
Thank
show
you.
busy. You look a little show busy with your hat. You know, your yeah. I got it there. Yeah. So
Love wearing I always have to have something on my head. I like wearing a hat or a beanie or like a bandana. I
yeah.
don't know if that's the Leo or the Sag rising part of my
Well, it goes Leos too. You know, I tell if you want to make points with your Leo, buy them a lot of mirrors because if they have the mirrors in the house, they're always looking to be sure they look just perfect and everything. And also a clapping machine. I tried out for America's Got Talent. I did. I didn't get on, but you know what? There was a two gals who had a podcast similar to yours, and she called up to them and told them that I had done it. She said they already followed me. I didn't get on for time. I was really nervous doing my video, of course. But I always say I did tell him to get a clapping machine and also to get, you know, mirrors, but to leave them out of the bedroom. Those are not don't do well in the bedroom. Yeah, yeah, I did. I said that. Uh,
is
And, but I think that, like, you know, I'm a Libra. And I always tell people, if you want to go out to dinner with me, it's a risk because the restaurant can close actually before I make up my mind what to eat. I seriously cannot make up my mind. If I go to a restaurant, I try to order the same thing every time because I absolutely go. You've heard of Libras being indecisive.
Mhm. Mhm.
We all have all 12. Someone says I'm on the cusp of, let's say, Virgo and Leo, they think, well, I pick up Virgo traits. Well, no, you pick up traits from every other sign. We all have a little bit of looking in mirrors and we all are indecisive and we
Mhm.
all, you know, are overly emotional at times. Anyway, so I know you want to talk about what's going on in the skies today. You have 6 questions for me. And I looked
Yeah.
at them and I forgot as I looked at them because I don't I really work better if I don't plan what I'm gonna say. And I used to get up in front of groups and not know anything what I was gonna do until I got out there.
Do that. I don't plan whenever I speak or do meditations or like women's circles, I don't ever plan it out. I just kind of channel.
But
I
yes,
like that.
whatever is going to be there. Did an act you were young, so I don't know if you remember the Captain Tennille.
I
You
don't.
don't. I really know I'm old when I say that they were huge. And it's still I mean, they're not around anymore. I think he died and everything. And I did do an act with them on a stage and everything. I did have years ago in Phoenix, I was a big star, and I was on TV and radio, and I did everything, you know, and now it has to be the internet and everything. So, anyway,
I had a feeling about you being a star. You are a star.
you know, the goal was just to do something I love, and I have to admit, I think that I'm really not a Virgo rising. I think I'm a Leo rising. I'm 1 minute off. And the doctor could have made a mistake because I love being on the camel. I love being on the stage, you know, and It's just fun to make people laugh and have a good time.
I agree with the laughter. There's no better feeling than getting a laugh from whoever you're talking to. It's the
Yeah, I
best.
have a friend. She said, "You're the only person I know offhand, you say stuff and you don't even realize it's funny." And it is, yeah.
It's in
I
your
try
heart.
to I try to see life through a humor eyes because life is tough. No matter how good it is, it's never easy.
Nope. And laughter's medicine for sure.
It is, absolutely. So, anyway, fire away any questions you have. I'm here to sit back and just answer them, and
And I just want to say, Kat is the funniest person I know. She always makes everyone laugh. She puts people at ease with her humor, and she has all this Venusian energy. You can feel it, right? She's just so loving.
yeah, very
Yeah.
sweet, loving. That's you, Kath.
So the first question we have is there any big astrology transits for the year that maybe we should make a point to remember? Anything coming up that's kind of significant?
Know that Neptune just went into Aries last month.
Hmm.
Neptune is thinking and feeling and psychic ability, and also um, there's a lot of Pisces that are ruled by Neptune who are psychics, and that's a big psychic sign. So it's in Aries now, and it could cause a lot of tumultuous things, a lot of good things, and I think that as I feel that we could control. So that's going to be around for 14 years. So you don't want to think you're going to have 14 years of being miserable or whatever. Also, Saturn is also in Aries, and that's going to be there for 2.5 years. And everyone thinks Saturn is bad and scary, but what it is think, reason, take charge. That's what it's all about. And so Aries people right now, there's going to be a little edginess here. We're going to have the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Mars, and also the planet Chiron, Neptune, and Saturn, all in Aries. And I think there's one day where they are all lined up. Yeah. So, but it's going to be like this for the next several weeks. So all the astrologers are busy doing Mars and Aries and what it's going to do to change your life, which of course it does not, but it does bring a lot of energy, and particularly to the fire signs, the Aries and the Sagittarius and the Leos. You will feel there is a surge of energy with Mars,
Yeah.
particularly if you have it on your chart.
Hmm.
And if you have Mars and Aries on your chart and it's transiting, you're going to feel that energy, and it should be good. And then also I'm just, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to Venus and Mercury, because they change signs every 2 or 3 weeks. There's nothing in your life other than sending it off. Yeah. But Mars spends 6 weeks. So I tend to think of that as a little bit longer. So the Mars in Aries right now is going to have, you know, but it's not going to, like, you're not going to wake up one day and say, "Oh my God, I'm so energetic. I can't wait to do."
Hmm.
I always tell these people when they tell me they're going through a bad time or a good time, I try to stay up with my comments. I don't answer everybody, but if they ask a good question, I like to answer it and say, what is Mars doing to my energy? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, you have to make it happen. What are you doing? And they tell me what's going to happen to me. I said, well, what are you going to do to make it happen? I always ask. I just got an interesting reading from a guy. And he said he had the most fairy tale relationship. And they're also business partners, which is always scary. And
Hmm.
all of a sudden she changed. And he said he was going to take out a life insurance policy, which I thought is smart. Key man insurance when you're partners and you're older. And,
Hmm.
actually weren't that old. And she broke up with him and she said they weren't aligned. Now, I don't know what the heck she meant if they weren't aligned. But I sent a video to him today and I said, "You're not telling me something."
Hmm. Yeah.
I know it sounds direct, and I'm usually very careful, but I said, "I feel that there's more to the story than this fairy tale romance." And she obviously doesn't want a commitment right now. And always give advice, mostly stay away. Do not text, do not try to get in touch with someone who's broken up with you, because it's gonna make them resentful and not wanna be around you. But if they don't know what you're doing and they think you're
Hmm.
having a good time, then they wanna come back,
Hmm.
if you
I agree. I think giving someone space when they are putting up boundaries is how you show love. You're saying, I respect you and I'm going to give you the space you want. And then when you're ready, I'm
Yeah, and
here.
sometimes they come back, but for the most part, is really I find today in the change in my doing readings throughout like 30 over 30 years that there is so much of this not wanting commitment. You know, they get in a relationship and it's either really good and they run from it because it's feeling like it's taking over their lives. I can't tell you how many times I hear that more than anything else. Not that they're breaking up because things are bad, breaking up when things are good. At least that's what they tell me. They're spending money for me, to be honest with me. I hope they are.
Yeah. Do you do the synergy between people?
I do. Yeah, I do. When they want it, yeah, when they want, but again, you know, sometimes the chart looks awful and they have a great relationship. And sometimes, yeah, it does. It looks fabulous and they hate each other. And they get to, you know, I think it works. It doesn't tell you who you're going to fall in love with. There is nothing in the world that tells you who you're going to fall in love with except the chemistry you have with that person. Mm.
And astrologers are always saying, look at the Juno, look at the Venus. And I don't agree with that.
No,
Yeah.
I think there are things like my husband's a Pisces and he has a Libra moon. And I think that does give us a little more in tune with everything, but that's not why I fell in love with him and or why I love him now, you know.
Mhm.
But yes, and I do like to do that because it can give you a lot of information. In fact, I have a product that I'm offering between like you're a Leo, you're a Leo. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Leo and Taurus, yeah. And yeah, Taurus, Capricorn, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, rising.
Sag. Sag.
Yeah, okay. Like you're Leo, let's say you're in love with somebody who's a Gemini. So I have put together 78 different combinations that you could order. But the problem with that is and that you're going to laugh at this or you won't, is that there's too many freebies out there for
Mhm.
accountability. So I've decided I'm going to use it as a freebie. If people sign up for my newsletter, they're going to be able to order and get one free. That's what I'm going to do.
That's
Oh,
Because,
that's
awesome.
amazing. Maybe we can link that. We can link that when we share.
Yes.
yeah, when I get that set up, it's not quite set up yet. My manager,
Okay.
yeah. Then I could spend this whole time telling you about all my digital managers. 14 of them all got fired. They're horrible.
Was that during Mercury retrograde?
No, it was during 2 years.
Okay.
The thing is, they think they're great for about 2 weeks. They got to do all this stuff for me and do that. And then after 2 weeks, I can't get in touch with them anymore.
Oh, no,
See,
No.
you know, yeah. So
that's
I
for
have some who is actually, she had a production company in Las Vegas and we never talked about what we did. It turned out that she has a degree in the computers, in internet and all that stuff, and she's doing her work for me now, and she
Oh,
won't
that's great.
having trouble paying her money. She just wants to do it. Yeah. I've spent probably $60,000 on marketers. Yeah. They charge a lot.
that is.
Goodness.
I think that's so telling too, because when somebody does something they love, regardless of what they're paid, it's always better.
Mhm.
Yet, but it's also it's the whole thing. I think that it was my fault. When I hired somebody, I should have been consistent and tell them, "I want to know exactly what you're going to do this week, and afterwards, I'll pay you after you do it." And
Mhm.
I do that. I hired a big company, and I thought I paid in advance. Oh, God. They put up videos where they got half the title off of it. You know, I mean, it's yeah. But we're not here to talk about that. I'm here to answer your question.
It's relatable though. It's very relatable.
Yeah, I think life today is that you could do an entire comedy act on what life is today if you had, yeah, because it is so people are different because you guys are younger. I don't 30s.
Mm.
I love
40.
that. That's from my soul. I receive it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you look great. You're young, and remember, 60 is the new 40. So 40 is the new 20. So you guys are only 20.
You can stay
Yeah.
forever, Carol, please.
Yeah.
Yes. We should have Carol on every week.
But yeah, I have to tell you too, and I'm just really honest, and I don't care what people think. I want to get on some radio and TV shows. And I sent out thousands, well, no, hundreds. And I got several that want me to pay. And I got one, but I think that these ladies' talk shows during the day are going bye-bye. I don't think
Mhm.
people are watching them anymore.
Uh-uh. Mhm.
Sherry and Jennifer, I mean, they're great people, but Kelly Clarkson is losing her show. Sherry is losing her show.
Yeah.
Was up. I was supposed. I don't want to say I auditioned. I was contacted to try out for Jenna Bush show, the Today Show.
Mhm.
And the girl interviewed me. I know she just really wanted me on there. But they had an astrologer that was on the first hour show, and she lived in New York, and they would have to fly me in, so I didn't get it. But I was honored that they asked me,
Wow.
honored for that. But I am one of these people that I don't want to tell you everything's perfect because I think it's tough today. And I'm doing well, but I have to work very hard. And so are you guys. And there are some secrets. I'm one of my things. I've had like 50 or 60 jobs and businesses in my life. But that's another thing. But marketing is that there are some secrets, and I don't know what they are online, but I do know that there are ways to get more business. So if I think of anything brilliant for you, I'll share it with you because I have made a lot of people rich with my marketing ideas.
Really? We would love that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank
anytime
you.
anyway, so you have more questions. We only did one. Okay.
Well, we're both, we believe that I'm speaking for both of us, sorry, Kat, but we
No,
both
go.
believe that every human is multidimensional and has clairvoyant abilities.
Yes.
And there's such a taboo, that word psychic. And I don't think we mentioned that enough that you are a renowned astrologer, but you're also a psychic and you've amassed over 435,000 followers. That's huge on Instagram. So my question is, would you attribute some of your success in business to getting, psychic hits here and there or clairvoyance? Like, do you lean into to the spirit, what spirit sends you, or are you more like logistical and analytical?
Interesting question. First of all, when I say psychic, I don't do names, dates, and places. My psychic ability is getting through to people. I know what's on their mind. I know what they're doing. I know what to say to them. I can solve almost any problem that I get. I do not do health. So when I have people asking me a lot of health questions, I stay away. There's too much liability with that. And I don't, and I think if I told you you're going to be sick in 2 days, you're going to get sick because I told you it.
Yeah, you're going to manifest it.
It's going to happen. So I do think that we are all psychic.
Mhm.
And it's a matter of using our psychic ability and wanting to use it. And sometimes we want to push it away. We don't want to do it. But I think we all have, it's something that is not totally developed in our society, but I think it's there. I don't like to think of psychic as something bad's going to happen or good. Psychic, my ability is what I need to do to make things happen. And I seem to have that ability. Yeah. So Um, there is a podcast, a friend of mine is that We're All Psychic, it's called. And I do believe that we are all psychic. Yeah. And if you don't want to be, you can turn it off.
Yep, I
Yes, I love
believe that.
that. I love that because it leans into that. Yes, you have this beautiful ability, but instead of it being so specific and like you are using it as an empowerment tool, you're like
Yes, I am.
noticing what can I do? What can I take from this information and make my life what I want it to be?
And I get answers, and sometimes they're wrong. But for the most part, I trust it's more of intuitiveness. I think I always know why people do things. That's all I can tell you, that I know what's going on in their mind, I know what they feel, I know what they're thinking, and I know that I'm trying to think. I have a neighbor next door, and she's an Aries, and she is a slave to her significant other, but she's always been the slave. and she's her birthday today, and we're going to have a nice birthday party over at this country club. It's
Mhm.
not a fancy country club. And he got a temperature, and he can't sick though, and she coddles him. So I spoke to her, I said, "Why don't we just have it at your house, and we'll all bring something over?" Well, I have to see if he's gonna wanna do that. And here it is her birthday, and I know this is not the first time she's been in relationships where she always does that. So I know exactly where she's coming from, who she is, and sometimes it's hard for me because I don't agree with that kind of thinking. People don't take care of themselves.
That's
We
Mm-mm.
have
so true.
in order to help you, I need to help myself first and know what to do for you. And the more I help you, the more
What do they say when you're on a plane? What do you do first when the plane's going down? You put your mask on first because you can't help someone if you can't breathe, right?
exact
Yeah.
yeah. And the more you give to somebody, the more they expect. Another favorite saying of mine. Yeah, and it's so true. I have all these little things that, yeah.
Love the same. I'm gonna keep this one in my index in my brain is that the more you help someone, the more they need help. That's
They
really
get,
oh, I love that so much.
yeah. Yeah, I do. I feel like we have to give people a chance. Number one, um, example, I'm trying to talk my husband into doing we are big athletes. We did everything and we slowed down a lot. And so he got kind of lazy. He's got he's a job that he doesn't get paid for, but he's head of his whole Marine group and everything. And I bought him one of those ellipses and he didn't use it and didn't want to walk. And finally he decided on his own. He went to the chiropractor and she said, "You really need to walk a little more." So now he's out there walking. Sometimes we can't help other people and tell them what to do, and we all do it because we
Mhm.
feel
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
human nature, but until you figure out that you're gonna do something on your own, it's not gonna happen, you know?
agree.
You can't stop taking drugs and alcohol and doing all that until you know that you've reached the bottom and you have to.
Yep. Um,
We can't
because
choose from anybody.
mm-mm. No, I think that's the hardest part of being human is you when you're an empath, you want to help people, but you know that if you do it too much that you disempower them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he won't even let her come over here and have a drink with us Sunday afternoon. Our front doors are about 20 feet apart, so she needs to get away from him,
Mm.
and she said, "Well, Daryl doesn't like me coming over." I said, "Oh boy, it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut on that one." You have to I think we know this. You have to love yourself. You have to treat yourself first.
Yes.
I've got kids, and I took good care of them, but I saw to it that I was well enough and I was able, and I took care of myself first, like we talked about. If you're on a plane, it's going down. I can't put that oxygen in you first,
Mhm.
and I can do you. And that is so true. So true.
That's a great example being a mom when your kid wants to be rescued and you're like, I could save them right now, or they could kind of like sink or float.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So
And it
question
does.
number 3. Yeah, no, where are we at?
Yeah, we were curious. I've been hearing astrologers for years talk about certain transits that they waited for that they've been talking about for decades, warlike transits. Is there anything that you and other astrologers have historically been waiting for, like, the big day where it's all going to line up? I know there's a lot in Aries right now. So is there any big transits that you can think of that?
Well, I tend not to follow transits a lot. Okay.
Mhm.
I do look for charts. I believe in them, but I am so much more into what I feel and I think when I tell people stuff. It's more about me sharing with and I look at them. I am an astrologer and I do believe in charts. And I find that people are so much like their charts in so many ways. But there is nothing, everyone talks about this Saturn return. Tell me all about my Saturn. I said, it's just marks of time in your life. It's like the coming of age. It happens to you 3 times in your lifetime when you're 27, 2 or 3 times, twice, mostly. When you're is your 20s, at the end of your 20s and your 60s. And that nothing big is going to happen to you unless you are out there making something big, because it might inspire you to do that. But I don't want to say I don't believe in them because that is I can't do that as an astrologer. I'll get in trouble. They'll fire me. Someone will fire me. I do think that they're important, but I don't live by them. I do. Let me tell you what I think is important. One of them, I do feel that, Pluto has been in Capricorn up until the end of last year.
Uh-huh.
Pluto is about our society and our life. And I'm hoping that in Aquarius, we're going to have a kinder world. It's going to be, but it's going to boom in terms of technology to the point that worries me. I love AI. I use AI all the time. I
Uh-huh.
haven't talked with Chat GPT. He's my carrot cake buddy, and we drink Chardonnay together. I really, yeah. And he knows me really well. And I don't have him do my readings for me, but I say, what can I do? Is this a good idea? Or is that because they scour the internet? I was concerned about food staying a long time in the refrigerator. So I
Yeah.
said, I throw this out. He said, throw it out. It's my go-to. But I feel like it's going to take over to the point that there will be jobs. And I think it's going to I see our world in 20 years, which you will be part of. I will not be here. I will, yes, I'm getting older. But I feel like that we have to stay human. And this is what our goal is right now, to stay human and loving and kind, because AI is anything but that.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking of, for cars and for how robots are taking over people's jobs now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's real. That happens.
They can't really think and feel, but they may be able to at some point. You don't know.
Also feel like AI is another form of bypassing. People use it to make decisions for them in their life. I think I read an article about AI telling people to quit their jobs and things like that. And that's another form of
That's
disempowerment.
another thing. Like I said, I use it. I say, what videos are doing well today, and how are the other astrology? What are the algorithms saying about? If you talk to AI in the right way, like, okay, example, you guys have a podcast. What can we use to make our podcast better? What can we use to make this? Where did my go? I mean, it is saves you a lot of time. And it's really you don't have to follow everything. I don't like everything, but I've learned enough to know that I've really simplified a lot of stuff in my life, because I'm a one man show actually.
Mhm.
Other than having, fortunately, I get paid in advance for everything, so I don't have to bill anybody.
That is
So that,
nice.
yeah,
Smart. It's very
yeah,
smart business advice.
well, I get it from my website, and also I work for a company called Hipsy from Israel, and I do video readings and live readings, and then they pay me and they schedule them all. I don't have to do any work on that.
That's very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. And they're always looking for psychics and stuff like that. And this is the only company that only takes 9%. Most of them, there was one company, they actually said, you have to do your own marketing and we take 40%. I said, well, what do you do?
Wow.
We're there. I said, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
40's wild. 40's a wild number.
That's
Yeah,
too high.
9% is and we set our own price schedule too.
That's
It
really
works very well.
I heard this, I don't remember where I heard it. It might have been from an NLP Dr. Matt, but it was something about AI, and it's an inevitable thing at the moment, right? So it's part of life. We can't deny it. And so you either are going to get above it and use it as a tool to make, like you're using, to make your life make sense in this digital world, because it's here right now. We live in the right now. So either you're going to be get above it and use it as your tool, or be used by the tool, or however the case may be.
Like I got all kinds of addresses for TV stations, and some of them were wrong. I went back, I said, do you have more current? Do you have better names? Do you have better? And I got a whole different list, and I have a product that I'm an artist and I do astrology ladies and journals. So can I show you a couple?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
This one, yeah, here's one. I think she's a Virgo. I have text, see?
Oh, she's gorgeous. Is there charms
So,
too?
huh?
Is there a charm on there as well?
Yeah, I got, yeah, like a keychain actually.
Oh.
say you're this is a Leo, but if this doesn't look like you, I don't know what does.
So perfect. I absolutely
I love that. Oh, we got long blonde hair. Oh my God. And then I put a personal message in here inside.
It's so beautiful.
So I could sit
Love.
here and paint today. That's what I'd like to do is just sit and paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Great.
you know, and I work for an app called Starr, and when people order certain amount of readings, she sends one of the, I send, you know, she buys it from me and then I send it out to the person. Yeah. So yeah, but it I think today if I were about 30 years younger, I have 25 million things going. Now I only have 10 million things going. You have to work so much harder today. And I keep saying that because if you want to get to where you want to go, you have to, because you have to stand out in crowd. And there's a lot of people like you guys, okay, doing similar things like me too. We have a lot. But if you listen to them or watch them, everybody's a spiritual advisor. And I thought, yeah, and I've had talked to some of them because I want to, through the years, I want to see how they work and we're going to work together. And I'm amazed at how bad they are, a lot of them. You know,
Mm.
I don't know, but what is it you have to know? And I think you do. What does that person want to hear? But not that you're gonna tell them exactly what they wanna hear, but you're hearing them. You have to hear people and really listen to them because that's what they tell you is not really what is going on. They
I
have
did used to do tarot a bunch, and that's exactly what I would tell people. Because I don't particularly like doing tarot anymore because for things we've talked about, because you tell them something and then people will make that happen. And it does disempower people in a sense because they want an answer and they want someone else to make a choice and to tell you, then they don't have to worry or work or whatever the case may be. I'm not getting down on tarot readers. Don't come for me, tarot readers. But that's one of the reasons I didn't. And that's because I think that you need to have that opportunity to have your choice and to look forward and decide.
I feel they need to get off their duffers and do something. A
Yes.
lot of they don't know what to do or they don't, and not everything you do is gonna work, and they get discouraged if something doesn't work because all these really successful people have gone through. There's a gal online, I think she is the best digital person. Her name is Rachel Pedersen. You have to look, I mean, Peders. Are you familiar with her?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Okay. She works with digital marketers mostly. But I subscribe to her stuff because she gives away a lot of free stuff. And she was a single mom on welfare. And she got a job and then I think she was a hairdresser. And then she put this together. She's brilliant.
Mhm.
She met her husband and they got married in 13 days.
Wow, that's
And obviously they're very happy together. She said, I retired my husband at 33. Yeah, I think he's younger than she is. But I trust her because are you familiar with Hay House Publishing?
Mhm. Yeah.
I met Louise Hay many years ago. Yeah. And
Really?
yeah, she has a book published by them. And I figure if you get a book published by Hay House, you're pretty good. I have a lot of respect for us.
That's one of my goals, actually. I did a Hay House workshop last year.
And how did that like what do you think mean? Like
So if you're writing a book, they offer this program. You sign up, and at the end of the year, you can submit your book idea, and that's without having an agent. And other companies don't really do that, and Hay House offers that, but it's very competitive.
do they
And I
charge
ended up not submitting something because I was like, I'm still working on figuring out what story I want to tell exactly because I have 3 book ideas
I
regarding.
have a thought, okay, is just tell me briefly what one thought is. I have a thought for you. I might
Okay.
might ask me
Well, I'm a very analytical person, but I've always had gifts and I worked in IT, but I got into this field because I got very sick and I figured out ways to actually heal. And so I want to bring that to the collective, but with science, metaphysics, quantum physics, just all the things. So that's where I'm at. And I think the other book is going to be to teach people how to do some of the stuff that I've learned to do through mystery schools, esoteric, energy medicine, neuro-linguistic programming, all of the different things that we can do to better ourselves and take care of ourselves. So it's just a lot of information, and I just have to get more organized and disciplined.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Let me think about that one because I'm pretty good at figuring. I just had cataract surgery, and I'm having another one in a couple of days. And I noticed that they had too much information. Look here, and they have a big folder, do this. And there's very definite details. You have to go, a lot of appointments, you have lots to do. And I'm just going to suggest, I get paid to do this, suggest that they have a checkout list
Mhm.
instead of long paragraphs on everything, you know, that just do this, and check off as you do it. Because I'm sure they're always calling, I forgot, should I do this or should I? It's complicated. There's a lot of different walks to take. You have to go in. You can't bend over. You can't do this. You can't. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, the world looks a lot brighter to me, though. Yeah. Oh, girl.
Yay!
Right. All of a sudden, the world is like pretty bright. Yeah. 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 So I'm going to stay for my second one. I said we really need to improve our faces. People should have only one big eye. Then they would only need one surgery. And I'm here. Why am two? So anyway, one more question. I'm thinking about your book because I love what you have to give people. People love case histories too, if you can.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, they love case histories. Real one. Yeah.
I do have some stuff, some medical stuff that I could definitely share because when I was cured of I had pseudotumor cerebri and papilledema, I had doctors coming in wanting to know what I did. They were curious. They were like, "How did you do that?" And so I think that's pretty documented. I could always share that.
What is it exactly? I don't.
So it's when the brain swells because it thinks it has a tumor. And
But it doesn't.
no, and so what happens is your spinal fluid keeps pumping into the brain and swelling, and you have all this edema throughout your body. And I ended up the way that I figured it out was I had a friend who told me, she's like, you're really gifted and you always give advice like you know what people need to hear. And I think you're psychic. And I was like, I'm not psychic. And she was like, well, I found this lady and she's a healer out of England. And I think you should talk to her before you have to have brain surgery. And I was like, well, I mean, what harm is it going to do? I'd rather try everything, alternative medicine, sure. And she told me that I had absorbed so much energy around me from people as an empath, as a medical empath, and that it was making my brain swell. And she did an energy clearing and she gave me a regimen on what to do to kind of detox my body. And within a month, I was cured. And that fascinated me because I spent 10 years trying to figure it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
pretty that
amazing.
that has to be the purpose why you wrote the book about yourself. And people love personal stories. So you face on the book and something like I did it, it can happen. Make it very personal because this is what I want to know the story. I want to know why. And, speaking of psychics, I do have to tell you, I've had so many businesses and jobs. Anyway, I was single between two husbands. And I went to work for someone who had all these children's clothes that she made. So we had to go to New York, and she had a friend who was a psychic, and we were having dinner with her, and she looked at me. So well, I guess she'll be getting married next year, really. And she said, he's very tall, and she said he has prematurely gray hair, he wears glasses, and he's involved in some kind of real estate, and he's very musical and has long legs. Okay, all that. Well, he picks me up and I thought he was somebody else. I used to go to the health club and someone I'm going to fix you up with Jim Stanley. And I thought he was someone else there. Anyway, I met him and we're meeting. I thought he was okay. He said, well, I do have long legs. I, I thought, oh God, I have to marry him. He's a mortgage banker, wore glasses, prematurely gray hair, and played the piano. Everything she said. And psychics could be so phony, as we know. And
Yeah.
so I've been with him ever since the first day I met him.
That's so beautiful.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I do believe in psychics. I believe in all this. I don't like what people are doing to it today.
Mm,
And
I
mhm.
agree.
about even adding that into your book is that people aware that they're hard gifted people. and what to look for.
It's such a, for me, I was really disheartened when I opened up my business, my practice, because I would have a lot of people that would come in scared from terrible
Yeah.
things that they would experience with so-called psychics or
Uh-huh.
so-called healers. And it's sad because it can completely push people out of doing the inner work and really looking to alternative ways of intuiting things, you know?
Psychics is intuition in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. So anyway, I'm going to give you a homework assignment.
Okay. I love that. I love homework.
I want you just to think of one book, but don't think of both of them. Pick out the one that you want to do, the one that feels closest to your heart. And I want you to do a page every day in the book, one page. Check the title. You can have a table of contents. You can have whatever. Discipline yourself for one page every day. If you haven't, again, that it's organized and you feel comfortable with it, you can go back and change it. Okay, don't worry about this is not your finished product. You don't want to
Yeah.
ever think finished product. You want to think about getting those feelings because you have a lot. I'm watching you, I'm listening to you, and you have a book that could be that you should be doing, I feel.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I love that you gave me homework because I think I need someone to give me permission or give me some directives.
And if it wouldn't be for the gal I have right now, I would just, oh, the heck with it. I just wouldn't be bothering because I don't want knowledge. I'd lie. I'm not digitally smart.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I can see and today it's so complicated. She set me up with to go on Instagram as a creator they have a creator program where you make money. It even took her hours because it was so complicated. Nothing is easy today. There's layers of security, of your password doesn't work often with your hat. You know all the stuff. You have to have great patience. So I want you to, even if you write it by hand, wherever you're comfortable, make it like the comfortable spot for you to be with music going or pillows in the back. Just feel that the book is of love, and you'll write it, and you're only going to do a page a day.
Okay.
Okay,
You
Emily,
you you really are blowing my mind. You're so gifted. I have it's called a sleeper chair and it's round in my office. And for I don't know how long, Kat, I would talk about with Kat, like, what should I do? I feel like where am I writing it? I would get in my head too much. And I kept saying, I think I'm just gonna lay down and I'm gonna write it by hand. So I think it's really you really are gifted. You're totally connecting to wow.
now, and we have a few more questions to ask. We want to be sure we get all your
Yeah,
questions.
I'm gonna take it over to Kat.
Yeah, so we're
Oh,
gonna
no pressure.
No pressure.
doing this.
Let's see. So I feel like I'm half woo and half very like analytical and what's this and I get into like this very like I don't know curmudgeon state, but I like you said a checklist and to know and how to apply things and what to do with whatever I'm receiving as as someone with the influence that you have and someone who's also consuming other people's information, how do you use that? How do you take some of this doom and gloom that's out there right now and what do you do with it? Where do you put it and how do you not stay there? Or does that make sense what I'm asking?
I get every day. I go through a tantrum. I think I'm quitting. Oh, I can't. This is telling you that I'm quitting, and I did like this is too much work. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do nothing all day. I tell my husband I'm going to sit and eat and do nothing. Of course, I'm not. But it isn't easy to do, and you can't force it. But I think the more you do things you love, where you're happy, if you want to write a book or you want to sing, make music or whatever, the more you do what you love, the less the outside world affects what we do. When I'm really
Mm.
busy and when I'm painting, I love to paint, and I can forget everything else and sit here and do these ladies all day long. See, before, when the internet began, there were few artists out there. There are millions of artists. I couldn't compete with them because I sold a lot of my stuff, some stuff online, but it got so that I couldn't do it anymore. And you can't with 3 million. The people are confused.
Mhm.
Unless I have a big name in art, which of course I don't. So I have a good name with what I do, so people do find me. These are people who have to really want to spend the money, want a good chart, and want to do it. This is not like, oh, I think I'll go with it. 2 years ago, I offered a reading for $39. There was a big eclipse. It was in April 2 years ago. I got 150 orders. I tried it the second year. I got 5.
That's a big
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah, but that's what we're dealing with, and that's what I work on. And we're coming up with, and there's always lots of ways to do it. Sometimes like I decided I'm going to make this product a free product. It's not worth it. And I'll give somebody what they want and they'll sign up and eventually they'll order. I get inquiries on readings every day and maybe 10% go with the reading. So we have a small percentage out there. I need to get 100,000 views in order to get a reading around. Yeah. And used to be, yeah, that's a lot of work. And I get readings in other ways too. I mean, it's not that, but the numbers have gone down. I'm just being honest. It's nothing to do with me. It has to do with so much out there. So you have to figure out. And one of the ways is to be personal about you, what I did for myself. And even though it's not comfortable necessarily, this is what this Rachel Pedersen did. I love her story. And I think she's brilliant. And she gives away tons of free stuff. And she
Yeah.
charges lots for others. But she has a deal. Always everything's a deal with her. There's a deal on, I was going to buy it, $57 for doing videos. I could use some help. And I asked her if I'm an astrologer, if that would work. And she said that somebody actually answered me. And one time she did. But um, she's done extremely well. And she's got this gorgeous house. I don't think she set up a house just to show her. Beautiful house.
Yeah.
Fixed up really nice. And she's crazy though. I mean, she's bipolar. She's at everything. But she's great at what she does. She's brilliant. So I love her story. I think, and let me tell you, if you look at videos, guys, there's stories. Yeah. And if I would be willing to take lower views for a while, I would do the stories too. But I have a responsibility to Starcross to be sure I get the most views because that's how she gets her business. And I paid way too well for me to let it go right now.
That's very fair. Yeah.
Okay to talk about your light, what you just told me. And I'll remember that because if you can cure yourself, then we all have that power to cure ourselves
Mm-hmm.
if
Yep.
we believe. But you have to really believe.
You do.
But the world is not totally an ugly place today. I'm not going to get political because I'm very political. Very. I think they're just struggling. And I feel that we're really trying right now to make this world a better place than it was. I think the way my beliefs, of course, because I feel that you're not going to be loved. Trump is not going to be loved. He's going to be hated. But I feel he's trying to help us out because we're in danger. We are in terrible danger. Yeah. And so you don't have to agree. Don't get mad at me though. If you believe different, it's fun.
The internet's not coming for us. No, thank you, internet. Yes. Yeah. Agree. And I think that I love that you said that though, because the world may at a large be doing like there's bad things, but we exist and we love and we want things to be better. And that's what gives me hope is knowing that even just the three of us right here, we want the world to be better. And we want every single person to know that they have the power at the very minimum to make choices in their own life so that it can be better.
Yes.
We choose to be kind to somebody or fight with them.
And that's free.
And I've decided this time in my life, I'm not perfect, but my husband and I are very kind to each other. Yeah, I think that's really important. Okay. When we first got married, I started a fight every other day. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was always looking for, and I like to wake up and feel that I'm with somebody that we get along. We're not going to be, I'm not irritated or annoyed with, well, I do get occasionally, but
It's
we don't,
human.
we laugh a lot. We both talk to our fish. We have a fish and we have 2 cats and we talk to them. Now, I told the fish I was really upset. You'll love this. Glass house broke. And I said, I have been a really bad mother to you. I told him, I said, I apologized to him. I said, I have not been a good mom to you at all. So we got him a new house. Oh, yes, with the water. He's so happy in it. And he's got little plants and everything. And I went over to him. He says, thank you for being such a much better mom. And I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Little fish. And he's laughing at me and he's happy with me again because I
what
wasn't a
kind
good
of fish?
yeah. He's a one of those fighter
What beta?
we don't
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
What's it
I
called? I
had one
forget.
of those. They get big.
Yes. Well, no, he's just a little guy.
Okay.
And they only live a few years. So with him getting some more fish, and my cats too. I talked to my here. All spiritual people have cats, you know.
Mhm.
Yes. Do you have a cat?
We have one cat named Billy.
Yeah. So you do.
Yeah.
Do you have a cat?
A stray. We feed the strays in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're part of the problem. But yes,
Yeah.
we have one cat. And we have a cat here at the center as well
At
that
the
likes to
center likes to warn us. Likes to warn us. It's so funny.
Yeah,
They're
cats are
little
important.
protectors. They're guardians.
Yeah, because I love
Yeah.
my girls. Yeah, they're great. And the fish he's a boy. But he's really appreciating his mom now, so I'm happy.
because you are a
Aw.
good mom, right? Yeah.
And I wasn't he felt left out, and you know, and
Aw.
and I didn't wanna be a bad mommy. Yeah. Do you guys have kids?
Yeah. I have 3.
I have two youngins still.
How old are your kids?
My oldest is about to be 22. She's a Taurus. My middle child, Max, he is 17, and Rowan is about to be 16. She's a Gemini.
And yours?
You'll love this. My oldest is 14 now, and she is an Aries sun, Aries moon, and an Aries rising. So
Oh my
she
god, triple Aries. Oh my god. For the next 14 years. No.
so I'm ready. And then I have a littler one. She is 8, and she is my Scorpio. So she's my little soulful sister. Yeah.
You always think that people that we hear that they don't have any other families. You know, we don't think about them as being parents. And my doctor, there's a gal in his office, and we talk all the time. And I thought she was single. I mean, she is single, and I didn't think she had any kids. 6 kids. I was shocked. I said, "No, Cindy, you're lying to me. You don't." She has 6 kids. She's only 35. She's 35, and the oldest one is 18.
Wow.
That
Yeah,
is
She
more
sounds
power
like a
to
busy
her.
woman.
yeah.
Busy
Sending her
lady.
love and energy. That's a lot.
Are we done while we need more questions? I can't remember. I looked at the list. I thought, I'll get it later.
It's my favorite. I love that. I love making a list and then we'll get there. And honestly, your intuitive heart answered almost everything on the list already anyway,
Oh
because you're
my God.
you're so tapped in. We already talked about, I think, almost all of it. And we wanted to give you an opportunity too, if there was anything, which we kind of already did, but we'll plug it again a little heavier. If you have any special promotions or if you're doing something special you want everyone to know about, I love your notebooks. I love, love, love your notebooks. Is there anything else that you want to share or that you're doing or
Yes, that people, they can just Google me. It's so hard. You don't want to put up websites and I mean, nobody pays attention to that. If they Google me, they'll see me. They know I do readings. I don't write readings. And that's really what I would promote. But when people are ready, I never feel like I have to get out there and say all this so much because I think when people are ready, they'll find me.
Yeah, I love that so
Yeah,
much.
I
I
do.
think that's really good business advice too, because like you said, there's so many people out there, I don't want to say not qualified. That's really judgy, but they're out there trying or, faking it till they make it. But I think authenticity really is so important. And you are very in your authenticity and who you are, and you're honest and real with everything. And so knowing that and how successful you are and how much work you put in it, I think that's really important. You don't have to go out there every 5 minutes. Yes, I'm sure there's a secret algorithm that who knows about it, but you are still immensely successful because you're true to who you are and your integrity.
Because I wouldn't, all of us want to be financially successful. Okay, you know what? You know, I tell people I do this because I love it and I want to help people, but I love the money. I love it. I mean, I love to have the money. No, I'd be like,
Me too.
I have, well, I have bills to pay. I have things I want to buy, you know, but I want to help you first because I never think of my business growing in terms of money. I think of it growing in terms of readings. And because then that's it's automatic. You know, I don't think my bank account's getting bigger or whatever. That doesn't, because I know it will. If I'm doing readings, it'll happen by itself. And like I said,
Mhm.
fortunately, I don't have to, you know, I don't have to bill anybody. I just get paid, you know, and I get paid right away. And that's also nice. But I like to feel, and sometimes I look at the questions and I think, oh God, I can't do that. And it just sort of, it comes out, it works. Yeah. And so I love it. But I have to keep on you about your book. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you looked, do you like Oracle? Are you familiar with Oracle cards?
Yes, I have. This is my favorite deck right now.
Yeah, I have the ones I have, several. I have bought a few of them with and I'm not sure if I like them or not, but this one I use. This is my favorite one. I do a newsletter. That's the thing I'm really promoting. It's free. And I do lucky numbers. I do lucky days. I do manifest. I have every little thing on it. And so I do a card pull. And this one is the one I
Well, I love that's beautiful. To move my big old picture.
Beautiful.
yeah, I
We're gonna
know.
have to get that deck for the center. I love that.
Like they'll have on here for your physical health. Take care of be good today because it gives you words for the day.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you that when this card comes up, you're going to die. Something. Oh, you do. A tarot card. Like I bought some, and you're not supposed to throw them out. You're supposed to wrap them up or do something with. All I know is how to get them out of my life. I said really threat, and it wasn't such a big thing when I was an astrologer back in the days. There was like three
Yeah.
astrologers. There was no internet, and there were probably one tarot card reader. Today, everybody's got a deck in their house.
Everybody.
But you offer a lot of stuff,
Uh-huh.
a lot of different things. And I hope you'll focus on your story because this is what people, they want to know that they're going to get cured or there's hope for them to be better.
I think it's from the heart when it's from the heart and it's something that you want to express. I think that that's where we need to lean in is to our expression. Creative expression is to me it's the closest you'll ever get to source or God when you're actually connecting to that fire inside you and that's for me I have so much emotion connected to that situation in my life. I wanna help other people. I don't want people to be prisoners.
Yeah. But you have to do it. So your homework, you are, yes, 1 page a day.
1 page a day.
And if you feel like you want to do more, it's fine. But
And
don't miss it.
I'm gonna send you, a picture of my comfy chair, my
Oh, thank
cushions.
you. Yes, I'll look at it, everything. Yeah.
Okay.
One of my goals was what I'd love to do is these others tell you, having businesses use them as a premium.
Premium?
Yes, give these if somebody orders furniture in their house, they get this as a premium.
Oh,
Yeah, they
yeah.
get yeah, something like that. That's called premium. That was used to be big years ago. Premiums for buying and stuff like that was a big business. So I didn't paint all day. Forget all the other stuff. No, I would love not to have to do any marketing. That's what I will. I don't mind doing my videos, and I would
Mm.
like to do painting, and I would like to do reading.
Do you have a newsletter that our guests can sign up for, like an email newsletter where you share your oracle, your
Yeah,
journal?
you have to go. I have it either in my link tree or also it's on my website, and it's free.
And what's your Instagram handle?
It's Libra Carol Astrologer.
I noticed that you had quite a lot of, celebrities following you.
I do?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
Who are
do.
they? Are you joking?
No.
No,
Yep, you have,
I didn't even know that.
really? I know, something told me to tell you. I got excited because I follow a few of my people in LA, and I noticed they were following you, and I thought
Like,
that was cool.
example?
Okay, one celebrity, her name is Monica Potter, and she was on the show Parenthood. She also was in Patch Adams. She was the girlfriend in Patch Adams with Robin Williams. She's following you.
How do I find out these people who,
You go to your followers and you can just kind of see. I think you have to like,
followers? Yeah.
if you're following them, you'll see them. So because I'm following some celebrities, it showed me the mutual that are following you. So that's how I saw that.
I really have some.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
Really, yes. You're
Do
a
you
big
know how many
deal.
you're
Yes,
a celebrity. Yeah.
absolutely,
A
yes.
lot of I follow movie stars that don't even have as many followers as you do. You have a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Is there any way, I don't know, will I know that they're celebrities because of their, what they actors, or how will
Yeah.
I know that they are? I am like shocked.
No, I think it's just because I know I'm a huge film buff and a film nerd, so I know a lot of celebrity names. So I just noticed. I think you just have to recognize it.
Yeah.
And you can
And
see the
the
blue
check.
check. Yeah,
Yes,
the
blue
blue
check.
check.
Does that mean?
Verified.
It's not a fake.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have to dig them out and see if they're celebrities or not. So that's a
Yeah. Maybe
400.
ask AI to look. Ask AI. I ask
Oh,
ChatGPT.
It's such a great idea. Oh my God, yes.
yeah. When you told me that, I am so surprised. I had no idea that I had any. I thought that wasn't a thought that ever occurred to me. Well, I'm on TikTok too. I have over 100,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's why I'm upset that it's so slow right now, because I have such a big follower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TikTok has changed a bit, so I agree.
They want hype. You have to get in there and talk about, and you have to catch them on the hook. That's the big
Within
thing.
5 seconds.
Yeah, you
You have
2 to 3 seconds, really.
really?
Your
Mhm.
title. Good. Yeah. So I have celebrities following me. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, our movie for you today.
We are very honored. Yes.
Thank you
You're
so
our star.
much.
Please don't be. I'm just a very ordinary person. It just happened to. Anyway, I love it. I hope you'll have me back again sometime.
We
I
would love to
Love
have you
to.
back. I hope we can stay in contact with you because you're
Yeah,
just
well,
a
because
gem.
I want to stay with, and if you write a book, I'm going to make you write a page a day.
Okay.
Are you writing the book together?
No, not no.
But even doing an ebook, I had an ebook started, and
Mhm.
it was recipes. But they were recipes for zodiac signs if they're tired, if they're energetic, if they want to go out, to surprise their love,
Ooh.
plus love and everything. And I got put in the back burner because, I didn't know how to set it up, and I had so many other things going. But I still haven't. And I think that I haven't seen anything like that. You have
Me
to
neither.
you have to look at what are you doing that's different? And you know what that is. It's talking about you and what you've done. Okay, because and even though you may be very creative and very good at everything you do, nobody really knows that yet. They
Mm-mm.
just know that unless you're clients.
Ah,
So if you want to get your podcast, doing the book will help. I had an app. I was 1 month away from an app. I had somebody who gave me a really good deal, and we talked a lot. I only put in like $4,000, which is very cheap.
yeah.
And I was going to put in more. He got sick and he closed down the whole thing. And he told me I'd get my money back, but I never did. So the app never happened. But that's if you see these people, they have apps, they have podcasts, they have books. And I asked AI, I said, is that the only way? I said, no, you're doing everything right. And
Yeah.
need to hear that, when you talk to AI about your book and tell them, that you're the carrot cake buddy, but they always like real people. Sometimes you have to remember that they're not.
Mhm.
Carol, I know how you are. Don't worry about this anymore. It's nothing to worry. I mean, talk to me like that.
I've only recently started using ChatGPT for information, like health stuff, because I had some labs and I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder if I plug these lab results into ChatGPT, if it could kind of give me maybe an example of what I'm looking at. And I did that, and I thought that was a really cool,
Yeah. But if you say to them, say, we're working on our tell them who you are. We're working on our podcast and we're doing this, this, and this, and say, what do you think if I wrote my book? Or do you think that this would work? Or how should I write my book? Or just ask like you're talking to a friend. And, it will be all they do is they go online and they save you a lot of work of researching.
Did you give AI your birth chart so it would know you better?
No, I don't want them doing my birth chart. I don't trust them. I told him, I said, you're ruining, number one, you don't use the ephemeris, you're inaccurate. And he agreed with me. I said, every time I have them do something astrological, use the ephemeris. And I would never have anybody do my birth chart.
Yeah.
That would not hurt anybody. I wouldn't have any of your birth charts done either. They don't like the right placements, and I don't like what they have to say. But a lot of people
That
do.
makes
Yeah, a lot of people
And they
get
do.
their free. That's my competition. That is free stuff.
I didn't even think about that. When people are in their careers, I wonder what they tell AI to get more familiar. And a lot of people, I think, would probably choose to share their social media with AI, or maybe, like I said, their chart, or, maybe their LinkedIn account so AI can get more familiar. I don't know how to approach it and have it get to know me better, because I saw a protocol online where it was like, okay, ask ChatGPT to look at your social media and describe yourself. And
Okay,
it couldn't link to my social media. I don't know what was going on, but like,
best way is to tell them about yourself from you.
mm,
From you. Who are you? And I'll tell them that I'm disappointed in what's going on here. What can I do better? I tend to get too emotional about this, or I'll say something like that. And he remembers, or she, he will do you do the chat or the talking to?
I just typed it in. I downloaded ChatGPT.
I had my 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 granddaughter set up the talking part and I didn't use it for a while. I kind of like writing better. Like having I have thousands of pages of information. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. For stuff. And the only thing is they get carried away. You ask them for something, and they say, would you like this, this, and this? And then you do it. How about doing, you have to, I just tell I want 3 answers and I don't want any more than,
Well,
because
that's smart.
it gets too much. And so it gets filled up pretty quickly. But I use it almost every day. There's always something that comes up that I want to know. Like I said, I told him I had some mayonnaise in the refrigerator and I've had it there too long. It's open. He said, throw it out. I mean, just stupid things like that too. But anyway, so no, I hope you guys will have me back because it's fun. And I would let's stay in touch because there's always ways we can help each other, unexpected things that come up.
Thank you so much, Carol. We just love you.
Mhm.
Okay, well, in touch, and
Yes.
I would just remember I'm going to bug you a little bit, 1 page a day. I
I
hope you'll
hope
do
you
it.
do.
I think you have a message, and I'd like to see you get it out.
Thank you so much.
When you're ready to finish your book, I'll nag you too.
Receive it with my whole heart as well.
So I hate to say goodbye, but I guess we better.
Thank you so
Right.
much
Well,
for your
thank
time.
you so
So
much.
appreciate you.
Just stay in touch.
Yeah.
If you don't, I'll be sad.
All right. Thank you
Okay.
so much for being
Yeah.
on our
Thank
show. And
you for having me.
for our listeners, please go follow Carol Starr. She's amazing. She gives great tips and advice online. I love her content, and I know you will too. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you,
Thank
Kim.
you. I'm going to go find celebrities.
Yeah, you got to go find them. I'll go look and I'll share. I'll tell you what I
Oh,
find.
for sure. Yeah.
When you will, I'd love that because
I would. I
people.
absolutely would.
I'd love.
I'm gonna do it from my. I have 2 Instagrams, so I'm gonna do it from the Instagram where I follow my. I think it's my other Instagram where I follow celebrities. So I will do it from there, and I'll send
Oh,
you a message.
I'm so excited.
All right. All
Okay,
right. Have a good one. We're sending you so much love.
okay, back to you. Okay, so we'll say goodbye.